Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday night, music night, time to cheer, time to rock, time to get out of the house and have some fun. Brian S. Red is with us tonight. Good evening, Brian.
Good evening, John. Did you miss me?
I did. I really did. I started by Tuesday. I was starting to get these shaky and itchy and all these different things that would be associated with a rash of missing something.
Yeah, well, I missed you too, John. So I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to have all of you back. And cool. Let's do this thing again.
We are here.
Ian's in the house.
Yes, we are. You guys are coming in. Thank you for being with us tonight. We're broadcasting to Facebook and YouTube tonight. If you are out on Facebook, we can't follow that chat as well. So please click the show number 1 link to come and see us on YouTube. That way we can follow your questions and such as we're going through. Because tonight we're going to be talking about putting together some songs for a cocktail time, and not specifically wedding. This is going to be kind of maybe more of a corporate event, or say if you're doing a backyard party and you're just wanting to screw around and such and play some songs that are somewhat unusual but yet recognizable for a little bit older crowd. I don't want to go in at 19 to 25-year-old, so we're going to go just a little bit older.
Right. And you know what? Even the 19 to 20 crowd would know most of these tunes anyway.
Yeah, that's the part that's really, when I hear my kids, my 16-year-old who's doing music and he's really into that, and he's singing some of these older tunes in the back, it's like, how does he know that song? I've never played it.
You know, it's funny. My daughter, my 18-year-old daughter, did not include me in any of this. But Friday night, my 18-year-old daughter went to go see Sir Paul McCartney. So there are younger people who are into, the older stuff. And I have friends who say things to me like, raised her right because she listened to Paul McCartney. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I raised my kid on French house music, and she still tends to gravitate towards the Beatles and the Monkees. And I have nothing to do with that. That's all her on her own. So you never know.
And she went and didn't even invite you.
No.
So that's got to be a parenting fail or something, man. It's like, come on. What about the old man?
Well, if Lady Gaga had you come, Dad, but it wasn't. It was Paul McCartney.
It was old stuff. You won't like that.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that old stuff.
Yeah, Steely Dan, another kind of a retro, or not retro, but that fits what we're going to be doing tonight. So
you're right. You're right on track there. Cool Hand 68.
Let's start now. The reason that this topic tonight kind of came about is some of you watched my video from last week where I titled it "Why I Hate Bands," and it was. And Brian and I've had this discussion before. Is bands can get away with playing songs. We just can't. And this band was a fabulous band. The Smoking Armadillos is who they were. And they're, I think, just a regional band, but very, very good. Brass section, full, I don't know how many people were up there, 8, 10, 12, whatever it was. Fabulous song. They're doing a Chicago song. They're doing Saturday in the Park. It sounded great. And this was in the first set of music of their night. And it's like, as DJs, if there was 1,000 people plus there, they were people who wanted to dance. The dance floor was full, and then they pull out Saturday in the Park, and the people loved it.
My most recent recollection of this, and I've shared it before, I was at a wedding. It was my daughter's friend's wedding a couple of years ago. The band did the first song of the night, which was whatever the first song of the night was for the couple. And then the second song of the night was Hold the Line by Toto from 1978, which is a jam. But the band opened the dance floor to Hold the Line by Toto, and they danced to it.
This is great!
Yeah, right.
And you just mentioned that same person, you're up there, and you're playing Hold the Line for them, and they'd be like, what do you think you're doing, DJ?
And you know what, even the better part about it is, there are people in that audience who say, yeah, Hold the Line by Toto is a perfectly acceptable song to open the dance floor with. These are the idiots who are talking to you during dinner about playing stuff that just like, hey, can you play a Pink Floyd track? Money if we're still eating dinner here in the next 5 minutes. Yeah, but I regress. But yeah, it's quite funny. It's a cool observation. I'm glad somebody else sees it. It's ridiculous.
And Matt, tonight, he mentions Frank, Michael Bublé, and Love Theme Song. No. That's not what we want to talk about tonight.
We're not going wedding.
We're not going wedding. We're going to do, there are going to be some slower songs. Don't get me wrong. So
Yeah, but you know what? Some of the best songs, like if you look at the pop classics from my lifetime, are breakup songs.
Yep.
The
And
best ones.
and that, let's just start off with the one we just mentioned before, is from 1977, "Baby Come Back" from Player. It
Yeah.
is one of those songs that people know. They can sing along. It's got a good hook,
Mhm.
and it's tempo wise is workable in that frame. It's not fast enough. It's not as slow.
It's
Good,
very nice.
a good tune.
The music that you're talking about here, John, is what they used to call soft rock.
Yep.
That was the name for it. And I think what replaced soft rock was contemporary country music. Has kind of filled that void.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Well, if you look, here now I'm gonna get geeky on you.
Yep.
Okay, like England Dan and John Ford Colby. I mean, this kind of fits in what you're talking about with the tunes that they did. And I love England Dan and John Ford Colby. But then England Dan became Dan Sills, who, if you know anything about country, that was like bop in the '90s. That's where he went. Was his natural progression from the soft rock artist into the country artist. That's just how it worked. And by the way, I really love to see you tonight was the big England Dan and John Ford Colby song.
And a good tune.
But I really like Nights Are Forever as well. That's a really good tune.
Good stuff.
I'm a dork with this 70s pop music stuff. I love it. Soft rock is good.
So Cool Hand 68 came out with 10cc, which is actually the next song on my list. And I'm just going to go there because
I'm Not in Love, or The Things We Do for Love.
Yeah, that was on my list of weird little hokey hokey songs that, again, people would be like, oh, I haven't heard that song forever.
You know the one that you never ever hear and I really like? Ambrosia's How Much I Feel. That's a really good one too. And boy, the other one, and the band name is just a mouthful. Jesus. It's back in the database somewhere. The song is called Maybe Falling in Love. And it's like 4 guys' last names. And they're not like Smith. But anyway, I'll look it up and get you that information.
The Ambrosia, it's interesting.
Stuff is tons of fun.
The Ambrosia song, I had picked actually one of those because I really like that. And it was The Biggest Part of Me.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the songs.
There was a movie out about 2 years ago that was brilliant, and what was it called? Space Station 76. It was a indie film, and it has some big actors in it. Liv Tyler was one of the main characters in the film, and it was supposed to be. It's like not a spoof, I guess, but it was almost like kind of maybe a little bit or a tribute to the 1970s space movies. But all of the things that they talked about in the pacing of the film and the whole bit was very reminiscent of the 70s movies too, and the subject matter and things like that. So everybody in the spaceship was smoking, they had ashtrays everywhere, and it was beautiful. But her stepdad, who many people may not know this, is Todd Rundgren. He did a lot of the music in the movie. Liv Tyler, of course, Steven Tyler's biological daughter, but Todd Rundgren raised her. So there's a lot of Todd Rundgren music in there. But the long story short, sorry about that, short story long, Ambrosia's How Much I Feel turned up in that movie. So it had a little resurgence, just because it was on people's consciences again. You don't hear it. It's not in rotation a lot anywhere. So
Cool. Let's see. There was another one that I'm kind of following the chat board because you guys are throwing up some song titles and such. Journey, some songs from Journey could definitely fit, but I think I would go a little bit deeper. We Don't Stop Believing and such as that. Probably this song, and depending upon, I would almost think about Lovin, Touchin, Squeezin as for the right situation. If it was a true corporate event, I wouldn't go there with that. But
where I would go? I don't know, for some reason, like if we're playing the programming game here, going back and forth on tunes, my next song selection would be Guilty by Streisand and Barry Gibb.
Oh, I haven't heard that one in a long time.
For some reason, and that's the whole point. Everyone knows it, but they haven't heard it. And it's like, wow, what's this?
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, good tune. Joe Rogers talks about the second song at his sister's wedding. and it was a song that was inappropriate. We'll call it lyric-wise, beautiful song, but inappropriate. We've talked about that with any number of songs that we play commonly for weddings that are just so things that they'll request, and one of them, which is Cecilia, has been requested everywhere. It gets requested, with church weddings and family events, and it's like, but you don't know what it's talking about. Or the Brown-Eyed Girl, it isn't a good song for you and your daughter to dance to. Right. Not so much. Okay. Stampeders. Sweet City Woman was one that was on my
I haven't heard that in years.
my list here. Just a fun song that
it's kind of like a folky guitar thing going on.
Yep.
Almost bluegrassy sounding. Almost like a bluegrass song, a pop bluegrass song.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
That's what, 74?
I think it was somewhere in that. It was 73, 74.
73, 74. That's an old tune. It's a cool tune, though.
Yeah.
Now, what I think you could also do, bouncing off of that, if we're going back there, not particularly exactly the same thing, but you're still within boundaries here. You could do some old Sir Paul McCartney stuff. You could do something like Jet. A little more up tempo, short, little cool song. Something like that might work.
Exactly.
Or better yet, you could do Silly Love Songs. That's a long tune, and it's a really good one, and it's got a lot of hills and valleys in it. So it's not boring or monotonous at all. It's a good tune.
What do you think? Now, let's continue. Let's look at that a little bit. Now, you've got you get into some of the Wings tunes, and there's a lot of things in that whole Wings catalog that would fit into this, and it's just so well known.
Of course, we were just having this conversation before we went on the air. My 18-year-old daughter, went and saw Paul McCartney on Friday night. It's like in the first section for that show, section 1 for the concert. So even the younger generation is familiar with the Beatles. The cool kids, like my kid anyway, are familiar with the Beatles. So it's relevant. Everybody knows who the Beatles are, and they may not know the tune, but they know the voice. They know who that is. That sounds like a Beatles tune. That guy sounds like a Beatle. So it's not completely obscure, but most people do know it.
Matt shared in the chat room there. Speaking of Don't Stop Believing,
71.
71. I see that. Sweet said, thank you, Michael. There, they didn't know Don't Stop Believing.
Who didn't know that?
Somebody at his wedding, and I almost wonder if that was a family that comes from a non-dancing background. I mean, if you're alive, you'd think you'd know that song.
It happens. I'll do weddings sometimes where they don't know the electric slide. It just happens once in a while. Like, where have you people been? Okay, well, let's not do that then. A celebration by Cool and the Gang.
We'll give that one a So I was looking at the Fleetwood Mac on their catalog. And there's just a lot of things that would fit in here. And the one I picked was Over My Head.
No, that's nice. Yeah.
That was kind of they'll know it, but it isn't one of the main ones that are played. And there hasn't been a presidential election in a number of years that you sets.
Yeah. Say You Love Me is a nice one too. If you're going to do tunes that Christine McVie were singing.
Yeah, that would be. I was looking for something kind of a little bit deeper cut because
over my head.
On Tuesdays we kind of go deeper with some of the cuts.
Yeah.
So what do you got for us for a thought to follow that up with?
Follow up from Over My Head by Fleetwood Mac and a cocktail set. I know what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Bob Welch's Ebony Eyes.
Good tune.
Because he's a former member of Fleetwood Mac, and it just feels right.
Yeah, good tune.
Where I'm going.
Good tune.
And that's very easy to follow up, by the way. With it. There's one particular song you could follow up with that one, and you can win every time. And that would be Jay Ferguson's Thunder Island.
Yep.
It's like that's the double header right there.
So unfortunately, we're not writing these down as we're going through. So somebody make a list of these and post it in the comment section down below because, we're just not doing very well with writing them down.
No, Mr. J Funk Sanchez says, Don't Stop is good too from Fleetwood Mac. And it is. But the problem with that tune and it wasn't a problem originally. It became a problem about 25 years ago. It could cause some good vibes. It could cause some bad vibes. And the reason being is because Bill Clinton used that tune for his election.
Yep.
His initial election. That was his tune, his theme song. So a lot of people associate that with Clinton. And if you're going to get political about things, some people like it, some people don't. Quite frankly, if a song is branded as something political, I might avoid it.
Yeah, I'd stay away from it also, just for that reason. You and I are of the age where we remember it in that in that arena. Okay, I'm going to go slightly a bit more mainstream with this one, but still kind of a little bit slower. America came out with a song, "A Horse with No Name."
Oh, yeah.
A little bit kind of a little bit of a beat going with that one.
It's a good tune.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I were the DJ, I would have selected a slightly different song from America. I would have gone Ventura Highway.
Yeah.
A little more up-tempo.
A little bit more, yep.
If you have never heard History America's Greatest Hits, front to back,
good album.
Piece of art, gold album.
Yeah. Only, there was, what, three songs that were released off that?
That whole album.
I don't think all of them were, or they didn't chart.
The only original track on that album was, what the hell is it called? It was the last tune on side 2. It'll come to me in a minute. It has sounded very different than their other stuff. It'll come to me. It's back in the damaged hard drive somewhere. What the hell was the name of that song? Every other song was a hit, though. I believe every other song was a hit.
It
was an album rock hit, if anything.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'd have to dig into that one.
It'll come. I'm not even gonna look it up. It'll come.
It'll come. We'll bounce back to it then.
You go on to the next one. I'll figure it out later.
Cool Hand 68 mentioned Christopher Cross. Christopher Cross had a variety of different hits. The one that actually I had on my list was Arthur's Theme.
Yes.
I like that song, and I
was thinking Sailing when you said it, but Arthur's Theme's good too.
Sailing, I think, would be a great tune also, but I think it left or right, they're both really, really good, and they have that crowd recognition.
What was that one tune he did that like you never hear anymore? Oh boy. I know the tune, but I don't know the name of it. He had a lot of good ones, though.
Oh, yeah.
That album that had Sailing on it had a lot of great...
He had Ride Like the Wind.
No.
Think of Laura was another hit that...
No. It was right around the same time as Sailing.
Yeah, Ride Like the Wind and Never Be the Same.
Never Be the Same.
Yeah, those are the ones...
That's the track. If you don't know that track,
I'll have to listen to that one. I'm not sure about that one.
Never be the same without you here.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one. I'd have to...
That's the one I was thinking of. The hook on the chorus is very good, and it's so obscure. Like, you don't know it. I mean, but people know it if you heard it. It's really good. It's a good tune. Oh yeah, I love these games. These are fun.
Hey, I'm just pouncing over to the Facebook. Michael Nolan, you're over there. We're if you can click the YouTube and join us on YouTube, that's great. If you can't, I'll try to come over there. You had some Stevie Wonder, Eagles, Wings in there, some Bee Gees. So Michael Nolan is right there with us.
Tonight was the name of the America song on side 2.
What?
Last song on side 2. The song was called Woman Tonight. It was because all the America, I'm sorry, stroke brain.
Yep.
All the America stuff was very folky. And beautiful. But this tune was kind of slick. It was kind of, I don't know. It wasn't really, it was white people funky. But anyway, that was, yeah. I want to be my woman tonight, woman tonight. Not a cool tune compared to the rest of the album. But the rest of the album that was the only new tune on the album, I believe. So, anyway, sorry.
No problem. Just kind of bouncing back and forth here. I think I'll pull this one out. This song saw a resurgence. We talked about this in our 70s show, Looking Glass's Brandy. And it's come back into public knowledge right now, and a lot of that is because of Bill Murray.
Oh, really?
Bill Murray is, still very hot and still with the social media is very, very strong. And he has different versions of him singing Brandy. If you go search Bill Murray Brandy, and you'll see he's sung that in different places. and he did it with someone fairly famous. Did he do it?
You mentioned this a while back.
Yeah, we talked about it, and
Yeah.
they're still. I saw him do it the other day. He did a. It might have been at the St. Paul Saints. I believe Bill Murray is part owner of the St. Paul Saints minor league baseball team.
By the way, St. Elmo's Fire was John Parr. It was not Christopher Cross.
Yeah, right. Like,
was different. I'm sorry. I'm
yeah.
answering Michael's question here. No, that was John Parr, wasn't it?
Yeah, John Parr. But was it in the movie?
It was in the movie St. Elmo's Fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in Motion. But yeah, that was not Christopher Cross. That was Christopher Cross, different dude. Was he blind? I can't remember.
No, blind was Angel Eyes, and
that was Ronnie Millsap.
Yeah, Ronnie I think was blind also.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that whole country rock genre, what about some Eddie Rabbitt, like Driving My Life Away or something like that?
Eddie Rabbitt's got a lot of things. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely would work on that. Actually, I'm gonna pop that up.
Which one?
Eddie Rabbitt, because he's got a much larger catalog than a person would think.
Yeah, he does. Well, he did.
Yeah,
he does. Yeah, he's no longer with us, but he has a lot of cool tunes. A lot of cool tunes. From country to, I guess, country rock or pop rock, ballads, a lot of things. Primarily in the country genre.
Yeah. If you get a chance, check out Eddie Rabbitt's different. I don't think he's got a greatest hits album that has everything. It's one of those things that you go to iTunes and buy and buy and buy. But he's got a lot of great tunes, and some like I Love a Rainy Night is obviously one of his bigger hits that people.
John Parr was Man of Motion.
Yeah, they know that one, and they sing along. Okay, there we go. Oh, Billy Joel.
Yeah, that's a good one.
There's some good stuff there.
No, I am all about the album Glass Houses. I don't know why. I was like in 4th grade when it came out, but that is my Billy Joel album that defines Billy Joel.
Mm-hmm.
Rock and roll to me. You may be right. Don't ask me why. Those are like my favorite Billy Joel songs. And you never hear them. You always hear stuff from An Innocent Man. And you always hear the 70s stuff like Piano Man, Anthony's Song, that kind of stuff. But I like Glass Houses. It's a really cool album, and I think you're going to jog some memories from some folks in the age group that we're talking about, a little older, our age and older.
Kate, you got to pick one Billy Joel song just for you. They come up and say, here, play your favorite Billy Joel song.
Everybody's talking about the new sound, funny, but it's still rock and roll to me. That's what I'm going to go with.
See, and I'm not carrying them on my dance floor. Allentown, I just really like Allentown.
Oh, I love that tune too. I kind of forgot about that one.
It's just there's just something about it.
Album? John,
what's that?
Is that the Nylon Curtain album?
Oh my goodness gracious! I don't remember.
Allentown is a beautiful song. I was listening to him on Howard Stern one time talking about that tune, and the people of Allentown, Pennsylvania were like, "You're our hero," and he's like, "Thanks, but I really didn't know what was going on there." And I just kind of wrote the song. It was actually called Levittown, which, if you don't know what Levittown is, you know Levittown?
No, but that's obviously a different.
It's outside of Queens, New York. It's like the burbs. And the original version of the song was something like, "We're living here in Levittown, and there's nothing really going down. The grass is green, the trees are brown." I didn't know what to do, but I finally structured the song to be Allentown. But yeah, it's a great tune. You're right. That is really good.
Yeah, that would be my choice.
I tuned out after that with Billy Joel, I think.
Yeah. Sometime. Yeah, and then you get into some. I didn't start the fire. Some of his newer things, I should say, in relationship. It just, I don't know. It just didn't do
Allentown was beautiful, and that was what he did. He did that after Innocent Man, which is this like 50s and 60s Motown doo-wop tribute album.
Mm-hmm.
And it was nice to see him come back with something cool, and that was cool. That was real cool. But I love the Glass Houses. As a complete work, the Glass Houses album is beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. Good stuff. Very
talented.
I was
long gone by the time River of Dreams came out. I had tuned way out.
You were into your French EDM music. Carpenters. the song that I had picked from the Carpenters was "Rainy Days and Mondays," but there's so many interesting songs. Again, I was looking for something that had that recognition.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other ones, and
There's a lot of other Carpenters songs.
But that was just, it's like, I want to go something that's just a little bit off, still known, and I think that would be a little bit off, but still known.
Carpenters make me very uncomfortable.
Okay, I
don't know what it is about Karen Carpenter, but every time I even see her picture, I get very uncomfortable. I don't know what it is.
Just that whole starving oneself to death
didn't help, and she sounds so happy about it. I think that's just creepy as shit. Even when I was little, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people love Carpenter's music, and brother sister team. I think they're from like Downey, California.
Something like that.
Yeah. Jose Heredia was telling me the story of the Carpenters, how they had a studio out there, and he lived out there in whatever early 70s. But, beautiful music, but I don't. Some things just give you vibes, and that just gives me the willies. I don't know. Carpenters give me the damn willies. and I think there was a movie a while back. They were playing "We've Only Just Begun," and it was a movie like, oh boy, I'm not saying it was this movie, but it was a movie like what was the movie with Kingsman. It was very violent and a lot of like slow motion murders and things, or maybe it was The Watchmen or something like that. It was during one of the bloody fight scenes they were doing, like the Carpenters Only Just Begun. Pretty much solidifies how I feel about it. It's terrible, I know.
Let's see.
This is what happens when we're gone for a week. We're totally off.
We're all off. So let's talk about the Starland vocal band.
Afternoon Delight.
Yeah.
1975.
It had a resurgence, of course, because of Anchorman. And it came back, and it's amazing. Again, not appropriate for weddings if you really get down to what they're singing about, but because of its the sing along that they did with in Anchorman and how that's become kind of a thing. It has some legs. It's got a hook people know, so it fits in that, just a little bit off, but yet still a solid song that could be used in that area. Yeah,
absolutely. And another one that would work really well. This could be wedding. This could be corporate. It could be whatever. Probably primarily wedding, but Love Will Keep Us Together, Captain and Continual.
Yes.
Which is right in that same vibe kind of thing.
Very much so.
From a vocal band.
Very much so.
Written by Neil Sedaka.
Bread has numerous songs that could be played in here. If you were going to pick one, what would you? Bread, yep.
I'm not a Bread guy.
The one I was thinking was Make It With You.
Yeah.
I mean,
every time I think of Bread, I can't get past If. I can't get past it no matter how long.
That's true. You've got a couple Everything I Own, If.
Right.
But yeah.
But you know what I would, if someone said play something like Bread, like that, I would go Holly's The Air That I Breathe.
Oh.
That's where I would go. Because I think it's better than Bread.
Good
and
tune.
It's not Long Coleman or Black Dress. Completely different vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I would go, I think, if I had to do something like that felt like that. And that song is gorgeous. And that song came back in Seeking a Friend at the End of the World, a movie. With Keira Knightley and the 40-year-old virgin. I can't remember his name. But yeah, it was in that movie.
Just checking here, Copacabana, the Orleans, King.
Now, if you're going to do Tom Jones for dinner music, don't go It's Not Unusual. That's kind of the Carlton dance song now.
Yeah.
Like She's a Lady or something like that.
Yeah, I would agree.
Cool.
I would definitely agree. We're just about out of time. I want to share my last one here. This is one I've talked about before, Little River Band Reminiscing.
Mm-hmm.
They've got Little River Band has numerous songs in their catalog that would fit into this time of the night, as does Chicago and a lot of the other groups we've talked about.
I'm not ending on Little River Band, so I got to throw one more in there.
Okay.
Love Will Find a Way, Pablo Cruz.
Oh, yep.
Same.
Yeah, and I've got that. That one made my list also.
Sweet.
Obviously, we've been doing enough music shows where now I'm starting to get that way.
I've learned them. Some stuff.
Yeah, I've got some different eclectic stuff. But that was just giving you guys some ideas of some songs. Thank you for sharing. There's some great stuff in the chat here. The thing that stinks is that chat goes away and we can't find it. So if somebody is watching this after the recording and hopefully has gone to, Juan even made it here.
You can even do like a big copy paste and put it in the comment section just so people can see what you nuts were talking about.
Yeah, but I can take some of the list. I've got a few here that I've jotted down, but we'll get what we can worked out. If you guys can do some of that, we're going to go to show 2 here in just a couple of minutes. The Q&A time. I'm putting that into the live chat here on YouTube and such, and we'll be back to you in about 3 minutes. Thanks.
Oh yeah.